like he's an all-time trailer all-star is Hulk. I mean, the Ragnarok trailer. Yeah. I know that guy from work, right? Yeah. Like, Spider-Man, thwips down, lands on the street, and you just, hear the boom.
Yeah, you get the Jurassic Park water shot. You see from behind, he's huge.
Maybe we only even get like a green foot or something like that, you know? And just Peter being like, oh, shit. Welcome back to the break room. On the eve of some interesting footage coming out around Spider-Man Brand New Day and some speculation on trailer releasing, all these kinds of things, we thought it would be fun to both rewatch the Tom Holland Spider-Man film trailers and use the knowledge we can accrue from that and some of the things we know about Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out next year to speculate on what we will see in the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Is this some real pull it out of your ass content? You better believe it, folks. You better believe it. We're thrilled to be here on the Break Room. I am Zach Huddleston. There it is. And I am ecstatic to be joined by my friendly neighborhood producer man, Mr. John Costa.
I'm dressed as the Hulk today. Purple hat. Green sweatshirt?
Nice.
That's what he looks like, right?
You flipped tops and bottoms.
I was wearing this hat as pants earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But someone told me to fix myself.
Yeah, it was inappropriate. Mm-hmm. And then with great power comes great Berg responsibility. It's Alex Berg.
Hello! Fun fact, my girlfriend was watching Gremlins the other night. The line, with Mogwai comes great responsibility, is early in the film.
So, is that what the shopkeeper says?
Yes, it says with Mogwai comes great responsibility. So
that's another good movie that's ripe for a rewatch from me. I haven't seen that movie in a minute.
Super fun. And then does he get shot, the shopkeeper?
Immediately, yes. And then the Mogwai becomes an underground wrestler.
Oh, let's pitch that sequel. How has there not been a Lego sequel or something from in the Gremlins universe?
You're right. Who has the rights? Maybe they're locked down.
Didn't they do a cartoon recently? Wasn't there a WB cartoon?
Oh, I don't know.
For kids, yeah.
But it feels like we're ready now. They might ruin it by making like fully CGI creatures or something like that. But like, doesn't that feel like a franchise that could rip?
Mando and Grogu had all those puppets.
It's true.
Puppets are back, baby.
I mean, we get a Texas Chainsaw or a Poltergeist sequel every 3 years, whether we want one or not.
I worked on Leatherface. Bad movie. Don't watch it.
Let's do the Gremlins thing. Okay, but first, before we get to fixing the Gremlins franchise, let's talk Spider-Man. So, we are heading into 2026. We're looking forward to two gigantic Marvel or Marvel-adjacent films. We've got Doomsday, of course, at the end of the year, with the rumor being that we might see a trailer for Doomsday almost 12 months ahead of release with Avatar, Fire and Ash. Well, Spider-Man comes out significantly earlier than Doomsday. Now, it is still in active production, whereas we've been told that at least principal photography on Doomsday is over. Mm-hmm. Probably going to do some heavy reshoots. But so one would assume we could potentially see some kind of a trailer for Brand New Day either this year, maybe not, but like it's not that wild to see a summer release get a trailer in the previous year's winter. We got a Superman first trailer in late 2024, right? Ahead of that July release.
And they've been like very media forward with Brand New Day because like Tom Holland's already been posting like, videos and stills from set and stuff like that. Like Marvel's being a little more forthcoming, or I guess it's Sony.
Much less secretive than Doomsday.
Yes.
Right?
I think that's the question that we'll have to ask is like, does Sony want to get the trailer out for this movie before Marvel gets their trailer out for Doomsday? I think the answer to that is probably yes.
Yes.
To say like this movie's coming first. It's it's around the corner. But if you look at the Far From Home marketing,
which we'll
talk about in a moment, and maybe we'll get into more details about our experience with that trailer. It sort of felt like Sony's hand was forced. It was, I think, when we were waiting for the trailer, I think we said it was the shortest window between teaser and release of a movie in the MCU. that had happened, and it leaked online, and it felt like Sony's hand was kind of forced there. So I don't know. On one hand, I think they'll probably want to get it out before any Doomsday promotion. On the other hand, they've waited till the last minute in the past. So what I'm saying is, if you work at one of these visual effects houses and have the trailer, maybe you should leak it. Don't leak it. Don't leak it.
Or just, you know what, just send it to us. We promise we will not let anybody else see it.
We'll just watch it at the office and I'll go, ooh.
Yeah, so we are going to, chronologically, why not, watch the 3 first trailers. Sometimes they get a little funky with lingo here. Sometimes the first trailer is called a teaser trailer. Sometimes it's called trailer 1, whatever. But we're going to watch the first, like, full-length trailer that was released for the 3 Tom Holland movies. I've watched these recently, and I have some thoughts, some theories about some of the kind of recurring elements, the structure of these. We can kind of use what we notice here to speculate about what we could see in a trailer that we could get as soon as, I don't know, November, December, right? Yeah. So, super producer Brian, do we have the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer available for viewing? Yes, we do.
Okay.
777.
Oh my God.
Leading with comedy.
He's got more of a New York accent in this.
Yeah. Also, forget how quickly you were like, oh yeah, Tom Holland's the right Spider-Man.
Yes. And he looks so young. I mean, he still looks very young, but he looks...
Very high school movie trailer. Like, this could be Superbad, this could be Easy A.
Yeah, it just happens to be a superhero.
Right. Oh, well, that was a fake shot, right?
Yeah, I don't think that was in the trailer, because he never suits up. Iron Man never suits up in Homecoming.
He's got the fake, like, drone suit.
Oh,
yes. Like one of the Mark IVs from
him a talking
Iron Man
to
2
or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like...
well, he's at the wedding in India.
Yeah.
Yes. A couple things to note about that trailer. It gives a lot of the big set pieces from the movie, the ferry, the ATM, the whatever. Obviously, there's some third act stuff that is not included, but like a lot of the big set pieces are in there.
I mean, the ferry is like a huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the third act set piece is a little nondescript in this movie.
Yeah, it's the prom and it's the buses, and we do see the buses there.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like all at night and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a little muddy.
Yeah, and it's on the beach with Vulture, right?
Yeah.
We do see who the Vulture is, but like there's some clever misdirect, because of course one of the big reveals in that movie is the girl ends up being Michael Keaton's daughter. Right. Yeah. We do not get the reveal that Zendaya is playing MJ.
Yeah.
She's not named in this trailer, right? So like...
And in fact, isn't that sort of held until the end of the movie?
It's like at the very end.
The third act, yes. Or like they call her MJ the whole time, but they never reveal what MJ stands for.
She has a full name, and then she just at the end is like, just call me MJ.
Yeah. Her real name is Michael Jordan, canonically.
So yeah, clearly and of course those are surprises in the film, so it's like savvy of them to not give those away in the first trailer.
Yeah.
But they definitely lean into, as you pointed out in the moment, like high school, which is also great because like Tom Holland looks noticeably younger than both Tobey and Andrew Garfield when they made their Spider-Man debut. I think he was technically younger than both of them.
And Tobey Maguire was in his late 50s when he did the first Spider-Man movie?
That's why his back was always hurting.
And so leaning into that, leaning into the comedy, which I also think coming out of that second Amazing Spider-Man where it's like Gwen Stacy dies and it's like heavy and maybe we don't have the best taste in our mouth, to give us this like refreshing, it's a little lighter, there's some quips,
I think
jokes.
The scope of this movie feels a lot smaller. Obviously, then they go to Europe and they do a bunch of different countries and then it's a multiverse story. This feels so small in comparison to those.
Yes.
There's no Flash Thompson. I didn't see any Tony Revolori.
No, I don't think he shows up in the
very little Aunt May. She doesn't have a line. We get like one shot of her face.
We didn't see Happy at all, I don't think.
No. So, I mean, Pepper Potts, I believe, shows up at the very end of this.
So, they're clearly leaning on, like, hey, remember Iron Man? You love him. He's, sort of like funding the Avengers. He's involved. He's our way in. And multiple clips from Civil War and whatever, right? Yeah. Like, they want to remind us, this is the MCU Spider-Man. Right. It's different now. So, put a pin in some of the things we noticed there. Also, a prominent helicopter. In that trailer.
Okay, yeah.
Just remember that.
Okay, prominent helicopter.
They feature it in the little teaser for the teaser.
So the same shots of that helicopter twice. Clearly, they loved those shots.
Okay, great. Yeah, pay good money for this helicopter. All right,
let's roll right into the Far From Home trailer.
Looking for a prominent helicopter, dirigible.
Note our forms of transportation.
What's up, dickwad?
Dickwad in the trailer made it in.
Yeah,
All right.
Hey, this ain't a G-rated flick.
Yeah.
No prominent helicopter, but I will say you didn't see them, but there were prominent drones.
There were prominent drones
In the film.
and
yes.
we must have we took the plane
and
overseas.
some Venice Canal gondolas.
Yeah.
But one thing, and I think I've also recently watched, either this is the first trailer and I watched the teaser, or I watched the first trailer and this is the teaser. But like in one of those early trailers for this film, you get Nick Fury introducing Quentin Beck, who's
That's
from an
right.
alternate dimension, but he's a good guy,
But
right?
not ours.
And both of them kind of establish like, yeah, Mysterio, but he's a good guy, right? Withholding maybe a more obvious twist, but that like, the whole nature of the Mysterio reveal. So like that's clearly a purposeful misdirect, lack of a reveal.
Yeah.
I think
It sounds like you're setting something up.
well, okay. I mean, there's a connective tissue here,
Yeah.
specifically misdirects around the villains. There's a triple misdirect here because like who Mysterio is, who Nick Fury really is.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
I forgot about all that.
There's also in the other trailer, it even establishes like you see the moment where Peter's like, MJ, there's something I need to tell you, and she's like, you're Spider-Man? Like, on that one bridge where I was like revealing that. And the other trailer kind of focused on like he is now more of a celebrity. It's like him in the like scene in the like restaurant where he defeats the mobsters and he's like talking to the cops. And they're like, what are you gonna do now, Spider-Man? He's like, I'm going on vacation or whatever.
Which I think is not in the movie.
That entire sequence did not make the movie. But there's more of kind of him being feted, right? Like as a successful hero, which was an interesting tone. But yeah, another fun pop song. Hormones, I Want to Be Sedated. Similar kind of vibes.
Yeah, very
to the
just
MGMT.
like fun, poppy, high school.
That's a very John Wattsy thing.
That's what I was just wondering. Like, the John Hughesification of Spider-Man was a John Watts thing. Are we going to continue with that tone into these new Destin Daniel Cretton movies? I say movies. He's only signed on for one, but we were just saying maybe he'll do multiple. Marvel has not always said to the director, like, Taika Waititi did a total left turn when he took over Thor. So I don't think we need to assume that this new Spider-Man movie is going to be so similar to the ones that we've already seen.
And if they're branding it as Brand New Day, right, and losing the home branding, presumably they're actively trying to make some kind of a break with either the tone or the themes that have come from the Spider-Man movies before. Right?
Let's come back to what you think some of those breaks might look like.
Okay, great.
After we watch the trailer for No Way Home, our third and final Holland Spider-Man trailer that we've seen so far.
Bringing back new Rockstars memories.
All this is like Act 1, first 10 minutes of the movie stuff, right?
How do you tell someone?
Also, noticeably less comedy than the previous two.
Very different tone.
No pop song.
So obviously, as you pointed out, different tone.
Way different
tone. A lot
tone.
less comedy, heavier. Even before the events start kicking off, the world doesn't like him anymore.
Yes.
He's not in a happy place.
The vibes are bad.
Yes, and then we probably get the most plot of all the trailers.
Yeah.
In that, like, you get to not only see that he goes to Strange to get the spell, but the spell goes bad.
Yes, and then it brings over the Sam Raimi-verse.
Yeah, what's Alfred Molina doing there? Now, they don't show us Defoe as Green Goblin, but as was pointed out in many a new Rockstars video, we see the Goblin Bomb.
Yeah.
We also get Connors in the background. I remember brightening that shot up like crazy. And then outside of the place where May dies, you get the sand and the lightning. So they really did spell the villains out in that first trailer without showing any of them.
Though the huge thing, of course, they don't give away.
Right.
No
Toby and Andrew,
right? So that also feels like it might not be technically, but doesn't it feel like the longest trailer by a mile?
It does. Well,
maybe it's because there's
the
longer stretches without as many tight shots.
And the music in the other ones help them move so much, and in this one, the music is like, really consider your place in the world. Like it's a much more somber sort of a vibe. And like you said, half the trailer is that pivotal scene with Doctor Strange.
And like in a lot of ways, the tone they're setting in this and like kind of the pitch for this movie, this felt like the end game of Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it was kind of coming not too long after Endgame.
Yep.
And like this was the, pulling together all the threads, calling back to other franchises, all that kind of stuff. This was the big epic kind of conclusion of this trilogy. Whereas those first two movies felt like kind of standalone stories that are not, though they are featuring MCU characters in both of those trailers, but they don't feel like they're going to connect in a broader way.
No, I mean, especially the first one was like fundamentally about like a kid trying to balance prom with superhero, and the second one was a little bit like, well, I still have these like, kind of childish high school things. I just want to go on my trip. I just want to spend time with MJ. Here's all this other stuff come crashing in. This one is flat out like being a superhero has ruined my life. How can I undo it?
But there is also the element of like we all want to get into the same college together, and I can't remember. There was like bookend of like them writing their admission essays or something like that. So there is always like a school through line for these movies. I wonder if they drop that for Brand New Day or if they
applying for his master's.
Well, he'll be in college at this point. Who knows?
And maybe that is more of a work-life balance, like with literal work and school and supering.
Will there be a bugle photography thing in this movie?
Very interesting. Well, none of the set photos we've seen have we haven't seen pay stubs laying on the ground.
Yeah. And J. Jonah Jameson is like alt-right Daily Bugle in this universe, so maybe Peter Parker doesn't want to go there. I don't know.
We don't know the exact politics of.
Yes, you're right, but it was very. It
was Alex Jones coded.
It was very Jones coded. Yes,
but he didn't say anything about the border or whatever. I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode of the Breakroom. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we'd like to say thank you to the therapists, like the ones who work with BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of hours of listening, caring, and helping. Therapists see us at our most vulnerable and step up to help us take steps forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win, can change lives. This World Mental Health Day, BetterHelp is honoring those connections and the therapists who make them possible, while showing how easy it is to get guidance from a licensed therapist online with BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the US. Finding the right therapist for you is so important, which is why BetterHelp has a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences to find the right therapist for you. If you aren't happy with your match for whatever reason, you can switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/breakroom. That's betterhelp.com/breakroom. Let's in a moment here, I want to pivot to talking about what we could see in the trailer for Brand New Day, but I want to shout out some folks. Silhouetted Animator has sent in 2 super chats. Thank you, Silhouetted Animator. The first one, chances of Scorpion or Peter getting the Venom symbiote at some point. No chance of null, obviously, but Punisher could be the devil on Peter's shoulder. Interesting. Let's come back to that. Also, imagine if Vulture is in the post-credit scene, having blipped back to 616, clearly shook by off-screen events warning Peter of doom approaching. Poor Michael Keaton, just getting blipped into all kinds of movies.
I just popped in and out.
Without his consent. Then Moniker sending in a super chat. Thank you, Moniker. What if the helicopter and tank scenes are hiding Rhino being in Brand New Day? Genuinely, that would be genius and hilarious in my opinion, but I still want to see Spider-Man versus a tank.
I think Paul Giamatti's still in that dumpster somewhere.
Yeah, so. They haven't let him out yet.
I guess, okay, so let's talk about what we know about Brand New Day, and thus what we could maybe extrapolate to what we would see in a trailer, right? The party line on it has been grounded New York street level fighting movie. We're getting away from the multiverse stuff. We've seen set photos of, as mentioned there by Moniker, a tank. We've seen set photos of a helicopter. Those are some of the most recent ones, including a helicopter being like craned onto the top of a building. And, you know, lots of just like street scene kind of footage, including things that apparently give people concussions. We don't know how Tom Holland got his concussion, but we hope that it was
too many bureaus, probably.
Yeah, Spider-Man's a linebacker for the Ravens for a little while. He doesn't play for the Jets or the Giants.
No, that's for certain. Same writers as the original. Not original Spider-Man trilogy, but the Far From Home trilogy. Yeah, thank you. So maybe that gives you a sense of tone, maybe. They're comedy writers. Yes, absolutely. We don't know kind of what Ned and MJ's part in this movie is going to be. We know Zendaya has at least read the script. She's talked about it. But there were some set photos of them at a cemetery or something like that, I think. And then it came out that Zendaya was just there because Tom and her are dating, and she was just like walking their dog and said hi or something.
Not even in that scene?
Not right. Yeah. Perhaps not.
What a supportive partner. Just coming to set.
Yeah, why not? She's there for the craft.
I'm sure also she knows the crew and wants to say hi to her.
She wanted a breakfast burrito from the truck.
Or that's total bullshit, and she was in that scene.
Also very possible.
Trying to smoke us. Yes. So if like there is a more similar tone, and obviously it's not highlighted in that trailer, but there's comedy beats, especially early in No Way Home.
Well, so I think that's the question, right? Like, because in No Way Home, like it is fundamentally the same tone as the other Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man's still the same character. He's dealing with like some different weight. But how are they gonna market it, right? Like, that's the question.
Because you could have had very serious, even scary trailers for all these movies. Yes. They chose not to. The tone they wanted to set is like fun Spider-Man, right? Fun, young, adventure Spider-Man. So my theory, and I'd love to hear yours, right? That like they actually want to get back to that with this first trailer.
Okay, interesting.
They want to be like, oh, you're a little burned out. You thought like Thunderbolts and its themes about mental health were a little heavy. Maybe you didn't go in for the retrofuturism of Fantastic Four. Nobody has the best thoughts about the spy espionage of Brave New World. So
favorite movie in the MCU.
That's your number one?
Interesting. That's my number one. That's my number one.
So like, what if there is a pop song? What if there is like they're leading early with quips? Even we know Ruffalo and Bernthal are going to be in this movie. Maybe other MCU characters, but those are the two confirmed. Do we even get some buddy banter with him and Hulk?
I think so. I think that marketing is always going to be a lot more responsive to the moment than the movie is, right? Like, and I think that with Spider-Man Far From Home, the marketing was like, oh, people really love this epic. It's the end of the saga thing with Endgame. They were aping that, right? I think right now, everyone's kind of recognizing that we would all love just a hint of escapism, a little bit of joy. The world is heavy enough,
And we want to get back to those 2018, 2021 golden era of superhero movies,
Nothing bad was on the horizon.
Yeah, we were all just, we're babes in the woods. So I think they're going to go the more fun, quippy, early banter, early one-liner, something quotable very early on, I think they're going to get that out. And I think they've got to show Hulk. Not just Ruffalo, but I think they've got to show
a hulked out green. Yes.
Yeah.
I am going to swing in the other direction.
A swing!
The director of this movie primarily works in dramas before doing Shang-Chi. That movie did have a lot of fun comedy in it, especially in the beginning of the movie. So, again, comedy writers doing this movie. But at the same time, Spider-Man is alone, doesn't have any friends. His mother figure is dead. His father figure is dead.
His friend and his lover are gone.
They don't know him. He doesn't have any friends.
Know who he is, yeah.
And so he's palling around with Punisher, which is not the most chipper guy.
I don't know if they're pals.
Look, here's the thing. If this trailer really does come out this year, that will be before we see Punisher in both the Punisher special presentation and in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Right now, he's in Fisk's underground jail. He just snapped some guy's arm off or whatever. Yeah. So, like, I don't think they'll show us a bunch of Punisher because we don't know where he is or where he's going to be by the end of this Although,
You think they just splice in some clips of him and Holland talking from the set of the Odyssey and go, trust us, that's a Punisher line.
That's a weird costume. I think that he'll have the Mysterio moment like we saw in the Far From Home trailer, where he just sort of appears at the end and says, like,
But I think my theory is Hulk's going to make an appearance the way the Fairy made an appearance in the first trailer. Like the
Spider-Man's on his backpack or something.
yeah. Like I think it's going to be like, oh, here's like one of the big things we're going to have to deal with in this movie is how do you deal with it?
But part of it too is like there's going to be a jailbreak, we assume, at some point. Scorpion is in prison. We just talked, I think, before the show started about the helicopter. Maybe we'll get back to that in a second. But like, I don't see the fun in this movie necessarily. And how do you put that in?
You're saying Peter Parker in this movie is going to be Mickey Rourke and the Wrestler, basically?
Yeah.
Just a beat-up piece of spider meat. He's working in a deli.
But at the same time, like, maybe you put him on a college campus and the beginning of it is fun. And he's like experimenting with hard drugs and his sexuality. We don't know.
Hell yeah, dude. I could totally see that being the case, but I could also, couldn't you see it being the case of like, because that's definitely the note that No Way Home ended on, is like a downer note.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
May's dad, his friends are moving on without him.
There's a little bit of optimism. He's got his new suit. He's got his new apartment.
And so couldn't you see, on that note, couldn't you see like, this is not picking up right at the end of that movie. It's 2 years later.
Yeah.
He's already figured out his new life. Maybe he occasionally like sees MJ cross the park, from perched on top of a building, and there's still a little bit of longing. But he's got his new circle. He's got his new job.
Maybe there's a Harry Osborn in there. Maybe there's some. He's got to have new friends, right?
I think John makes a lot of great points about like the place that Peter Parker and Spider-Man are in at the start of this movie, and also Daniel Day Cretton's thing. The thing that's in my brain right now with trailers specifically, and Zach and I are going to get into this in our underground, so I don't want to burn this too much. There's a film came out recently, a small art house film nobody's seen called One Battle After Another. The first trailer for One Battle After Another very accurately captured the tone of the film. The second trailer was much more serious and dire. The first trailer was cut by Paul Thomas Anderson. The second trailer was cut by the studio. So it's a question of like, how much pull is the director going to have in the marketing?
And how much pull is Marvel Studios going to have in the marketing?
Absolutely.
As well,
Absolutely.
Right?
Versus
Sony.
Sony.
Sony is the people that do them, is the people.
The brain
Sony,
trust that brought you Morbius.
Right. and I think that like someone asked about the symbiote and all of that kind of stuff. My optimistic take is that nothing from the SPUMC is going to be in this film. Of course, we did get it a little bit in No Way Home with the post-credit scene and all that kind of stuff. I think that they're going to hope that we forgot all about that.
Especially
I agree.
Venom is wrapped.
Right.
Yeah. I imagine maybe that whole sub-franchise gets rebooted in 5 years or whatever. But like, I don't think that's not going to cross over. Tom Hardy's kind of done playing that role. Maybe post Secret Wars or something, or that character comes into Secret Wars. Who knows? But like, I agree because already this movie is pretty stuffed without adding SPUMC stuff.
Yeah, right.
We know we have Hulk and Punisher. There's been rumors maybe we get a Daredevil and some of those other characters that are associated with New York. We know just villain-wise, Scorpion's in it. Tombstone is in it. There's heavy rumors that Mr. Negative is in it. There's rumors about a female villain potentially being portrayed by Sadie Sink. I also think like this, if we're just speculating on what that first trailer is going to be, I think Sadie Sink's in it. But like in the same way that like Vulture's daughter is heavily featured in the first, the Homecoming trailer, you don't actually know the full context.
The girl sitting next to him in his college chemistry class or something.
Or maybe it's even his current girlfriend or something like that. But like, it's not revealed that also she's a villain or she's secretly a super character or she's the daughter or the cousin of some important factor in the movie, right?
So I think that what they want from Brand New Day is a reset of tone. So despite, again, I think these are very good points. And as soon as you said them, I was like, now I got to dig in on my crap.
It sucks when you agree with me.
I know, it feels difficult. It feels gross and weird. I don't like it.
I understand.
I try not to do it too much. But I do think that, like the Marvel broadly and Sony definitely are looking for like a return to glory at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's easier to do that with a fun trailer than a serious trailer.
I mean, and Sony definitely, Marvel definitely, I think, right? Like, yes, Deadpool and Wolverine smash hit, but like the Fantastic Four only making $500 million. They're hoping that this movie can maybe be a jumpstart for them to get more butts and seats for Doomsday and Secret Wars.
They need this movie to do Fantastic Four numbers in its opening weekend, right? Like they're hoping it triples the numbers of all the 2025 individual releases, right?
You can't have a situation where this movie makes $600 million and then Doomsday potentially makes $750. That's a nightmare.
These need to be billion-dollar movies, right? For the studio and for the health of the superhero franchises in general. Yeah, totally. I kind of
also
agree.
Crazy to be like only 600 million.
I mean, but they cost $300 million, and then they got the print and ad on top, and the studio or the theaters take their.
I agree with you.
They have to pay all the Marvel shills. All of us will be expecting our checks. We get
$2 to $3 million per movie.
At least.
I do think let's hone in on some of the elements, the specific elements that might be in this trailer. Like I agree. I think like that. Coming this July, and then maybe you get that closing, like an extra badass shot that's usually like a character reveal. That's the Doc Ock show. Hello, Peter. Or the Mysterio. I don't think you're ready for this, right? That thing that only shows up in the last 15 seconds of a trailer. Do we think that's Bernthal's Punisher? Because I got to say, like a Tombstone or a Scorpion in that role is going to leave people being
not as much name recognition.
No, people aren't going to be like, right? Like, so I think it's got to be Bernthal, maybe Ruffalo.
Here's my other pitch. Ruffalo involved in a prison break that is breaking, he Hulk smashes through a prison wall and grabs Michael Mando or something like that.
Love this idea.
Right? Like, we don't know what the Hulk's alignment is going to be in this movie yet. There's been suggestions that it'll be like a Savage Hulk villain thing at the beginning and then maybe teams up with Peter
There's also rumors about like that might be Punisher's kind of role. Similarly, they might come into conflict before maybe working together or something
also,
like that.
We've speculated, and I don't know where we landed on it, that maybe like either Hulk or Bruce Banner was affected by Strange's spell and doesn't remember Peter, but the other one still might know.
Fun.
I think even more than Bernthal, I've just changed my mind in real time here. Even though Bernthal could be great, you just like cut to guy blasting with machine gun, like get in the van, kid, or something like that. That could be kind of cool. But Bernthal's Punisher has never been in a movie.
Yeah.
Right? And he's been relegated to episodic series. I do think, like, he's an all-time trailer all-star is Hulk. I mean, the Ragnarok trailer, I know that guy from work, right? I think, like, Spider-Man, thwips down, lands on the street, and you just, hear the boom.
Yeah, you get the Jurassic Park water shot. You see from behind, he's huge.
Maybe we only even get like a green foot or something like that, you know? And just Peter being like, oh, shit. But before you can say shit, cut to this July, right?
Yeah. I think even like just when you see like Hulkbuster armor in a trailer, you're like, oh, boy, So I think it's box office bop.
Now, do
you think they'll hand wave away the Smart Hulk thing and just it'll be another 18 months in a Gamma Lab sort of like line of dialogue that's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like how do they do that?
They've always hand waved all of the evolutions, right?
Yeah.
I saw this off screen.
Right? I got angrier and
or like it degraded over time
and also like I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Get
I want my Hulk to be angry.
That's the most fun for the story you're telling.
Yes. And like the Spider-Man franchise particular has been really good about yada-yadaing stuff that serves their story, right? So other things we might see, again, all of the series, but especially Homecoming and Far From Home did a great job of giving us like a bunch of cool set piece clips, right? Be it the ferry, be it all the European elemental battles, right? In Far From Home, the things we mostly know about this movie are like New York street level, like, we might see them fighting robbers, maybe like tanks and street stuff. Do we see some other big set pieces?
I don't know if this counts as a big set piece, but like Ned's a sorcerer now, like maybe, but like at the very least we see Ned using a sling ring and something coming through or that being an escape. I think at a minimum we get Ned doing something that kind of continues that to pull at that thread to make people go like, oh, Ned, because he's so fun, and I love that actor's name I'm blanking on right now.
Jacob Batalon.
Yes, Jacob Batalon. He's so great.
Yeah, I mean, we're assuming in this trailer we see Zendaya, we see Jacob Batalon, we see Tony Revolori.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know if
Not
Revelori
all
makes
of
the
them,
cut.
I bet. Well, I don't even know if Revelori is going to be in this.
Because Flash
he has
Thompson
not
feels
been
like such
confirmed.
like an artifact of high school era Spider-Man,
Right.
whereas like Ned and MJ are like close friends. They're a little bit more tied into his emotional
Especially, it's like they're going to college. Who knows where Flash is going to college? They all wanted to go to school together.
Duke. Flash goes to Duke.
Possibly.
arc. Oh,
Sorry, Flash. I think it's hard to speculate when we don't really know a lot about the plot. We do know that Spider-Man is going to be on Punisher Van at some point too. That could be their moment together in the trailer. One thing that I think could happen is if Spider-Man and Sadie Sink's character have a flirtatious moment, maybe Sadie Sink's character and MJ are in peril, and he has to have a sort of a Sophie's Choice type of situation.
A trolley car
Right,
dilemma.
exactly, something like that.
do you save
Like,
Maggie
you could
Gyllenhaal or
see
Aaron
something like
Eckhart
that.
kind of a
Well,
thing?
right, sure.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's like there will be plot stuff that is kind of revealed in this trailer that we don't know about. Though I will say I don't know that they reveal who Sadie Sink is playing.
I don't think so. Certainly not in the first trailer. Maybe
Yeah.
not in any of the trailers. Again, a key element of all of these films is there are giant reveals that are not revealed, that are not given away
they're
in
not
any
given away in
trailer,
the trailer.
right?
Which
And
is
even
great.
even the, like, as you mentioned, technically Green Goblin, Sandman, Electro and Lizard are all strongly hinted at in that first trailer, but you really got to watch the new Rockstars video
Right,
to
right.
get confirmation on that.
Only Doc Ock is really there.
And so,
you
like,
know?
I bet if we don't see the entire coterie of villains that are supposedly going to be in this movie in the trailer.
Speaking of which, Vincent D'Onofrio has kind of said, like, contractually, I'm not allowed to be in these movies. I don't know if I take his word there, but like, he's the mayor of New York City. We're going to have a second season of Daredevil. Punisher's going to be in this movie. It's set in New York. Are we going to get Muse murals, in the background? Is he going to be referenced? Tombstone and Kingpin are sometimes associated with one another.
It is wild how that show and this film are going to interact, right? We often speculate, will the events of Secret Invasion directly lead into the Marvels?
No.
Nope.
It turns out
they shared characters. They refuse to acknowledge each other, right? But like this, when it's like they're the same characters in the same city,
Right.
Marvel's putting out a lot less stuff right now, so you would think they'd be able to coordinate a little better. These things were shot at the same time.
But then also there's Feige's homework comment, right? Like, where he's like, we're coming out of the homework era. Like, it seems like they want things to stand on their own 2 feet a little bit more. So, like, in that case, especially for a summer blockbuster, like, how much is it going to be hemmed in or pay any attention to what's going on Disney Plus?
I would argue that characters like Kingpin and Daredevil and Punisher are not homework characters.
Yeah.
though,
You know
right?
what? I don't think the characters are, like, but so much as like, well, what have they been up to recently?
Absolutely.
For them to make a cameo,
and the entirety of Daredevil Born Again and the Punisher special will already be out before this film releases, right? So if we, like, obviously this is a no duh, but like, if we see Punisher in this trailer, well, we know he survives his special presentation, right? Now, do we, is there some kind of reveal that could potentially spoil his appearance in the Daredevil show or his special presentation?
I don't know, if he's like missing an arm or something, you're like, okay, something's going to happen, but I don't think any of this.
He's an eye patch now for some reason.
right.
Yeah.
He's smart Punisher all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I was in a lab, I
18
figured
months
it
in the
out.
fist hole.
So it's going to be interesting. We also, we don't know how much Punisher is going to show up in Born Again Season 2. It seems like because they gave him his own special presentation, maybe he's not in the show very much, and they kind of wanted to kind of cordon him off and give him his own thing and let Daredevil be the main star of Daredevil. Who knows? We don't know anything about that. That's a trailer we could be getting relatively soon.
New York City Comic Con is this weekend, and there's a Marvel television panel. So we think that we're definitely going to get some Wonder Man information. But
for sure.
The show right after Wonder Man is Daredevil Season 2.
Yes, that's
early 2026, right?
March.
Daredevil Season 2? March.
Yes, we're assuming March. That was the time it came out last year.
But I think Brad Winderbaum said we want to do March.
Yeah. We're getting Wonder
who
Man in
knows?
December and
They
then Born Again in March.
They can always shift. But
with probably the Punisher special presentation, I think is going to be immediately after. Like maybe it's even like the week after the finale or something like that. Kind of coming out in conjunction with Born Again Season 2. Other elements you think, so let's come back to, we've seen recent set footage of this helicopter being wheeled into the set and being like dropped onto the roof. There's an interesting thing of like they had to crane the helicopter onto the roof because there are no blades. It's not a functional helicopter. It's just like the shell of a helicopter.
Yeah, I was thinking when you said that earlier, I was like, well, why can't they just land it on the roof? It's a helicopter.
Right?
That's
it's
what
like,
they do.
It's like, oh, we've got a car. Hey, forklift the car onto the set. It's like, why can't you drive the car?
And they do that sometimes. You get the picture car and then a car pushes it. Or
that's actually a great point. But so we were speculating because it is not flying on and it's not a functional one. Now, some of that could be they put the blades in CGI or whatever.
Yeah.
But also maybe that's because like they need that helicopter for what will take place like inside it. Maybe like from roof to helicopter to whatever. And it's not really about that helicopter traveling. It's like it's almost a set more than it is a vehicle. Right?
Yeah, it's hard with the way that productions are happening now. If they were just doing interiors for a helicopter, you'd think that they would want to put that on a gimbal in a studio with a volume behind it. But if it's crashing into a building and it needs to be in the background smoking or something like that, then that kind of changes the math too.
And this production seems to be really committed to shooting on location, right?
Yeah,
and that's why there's so much set footage of Tom Holland out on a street. Now, they're not shooting on real location in that the whole thing's in the UK. Shoot this New York movie in New York, you cowards.
They're shooting in the old York. The oldest of Yorks.
That would be my stupid low stakes hobby horse. Is that like if you're going to set a movie in New York, you have to shoot at least the street scenes.
I'm sure they'll do some. Like Mark Webb ran around with a Canon 5D Mark II and shot some pickups for The Amazing Spider-Man in New York.
I love that you know the model of camera he used.
Yeah, I'm sorry that. I went to film school. I gave my optimistic take a second ago.
Let's hear the
here's my pessimistic take.
Yeah, give it to me.
Are we just going to get most of the trailer is going to be shots of the things that have already sort of been revealed? It's going to be Spider-Man swinging and taking out the tanks. We're going to see him on the car that the Punisher is driving. It's going to be this helicopter thing, whatever it is, him at the cemetery.
It will be interesting.
All exteriors.
It depends on what is their MO here. Is their MO going to be like, we don't got to give them that much. As soon as people see Spider-Man on the marquee, they buy their ticket. Or are they going to be like, actually, we've got to hustle for this because like it's a different world than when we've put out these other movies, and we've got to earn the audience back. We've got to entice them enough with this trailer.
I think I'm trying to. This is a framing I came up with 2 seconds ago. So
good.
Bear with me as I flesh this out. But like, I wonder if it's better to look at it almost like you would look at like a late stage Daniel Craig Bond trailer, right? Like the character's established. What you're doing is reassuring people that the franchise is in good hands. So like in a Bond movie, it's like you got your core elements. You're going to have some zany gadgets. You're going to have a car chase with one of the most gorgeous cars you've ever seen in your life. There's
beautiful women,
a fist fight, something glamorous,
some kind of
right? Like
mangled faced villain.
Yes, exactly. You know, like so with Spider-Man, it's like we got to get like some web swinging. There's got to be quips and thwips.
Quips and thwips,
right? Like we got to get like a villain, like a menacing, dastardly villain making a threat.
I think like big disaster set piece, like a building falling, a ferry splitting apart, stopping a train, right? Something like that.
You got to catch something with the web.
Yes, something has to be caught with the webs. There has to be an inventive use of the web strands.
We need to see some Peter too, right? We need to see him in shirts and pants.
We need to see some
like
Peter.
out of costume.
We always want to see the Peter.
Shirts and pants.
He's in college now. He's old enough. Will we get a second suit?
Ooh, in the trailer. Far From Home, we saw the black suit.
We saw the...
And there was
No Way Home, we saw
the Iron Spider in one of those, right? Like,
So I think that's like you want to sell some toys or whatever. You want to put the alt suit in there.
Yeah, and if we don't get it in the trailer, will it be spoiled by a Funko Pop or McDonald's promotional item shortly
or like
thereafter?
a Chinese trade fair or something like that. Hell yeah. I mean, is that suit... Maybe they've already done the all black, so it doesn't hit as hard. But like, could that suit be the symbiote?
Now the all black suit was just he turned his suit inside out, and that was
it was like the night monkey.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That black suit. The night monkey
yes.
suit from Far From Home.
I was thinking of the No Way Home suit.
I
don't know.
I think that's a great call. We see a difference.
There's got to be.
Even just
unless they hold that for the second trailer. Or
and like, they're not going to show... Do we even see you mentioned, like, do we just see clips of things that have already been kind of released from set photos? Do we see clips from the previous movies? Is there a little bit of like, don't you remember? Hey, remember these great times? We see Andrew and Toby, even though they're not in the movie. We see Marissa Tomei. We see RDJ, right?
At the very least, we get a clip of like Strange's spell, like no one will know Peter Parker, and then it's like Tom Holland carrying too many papers and stumbling through a campus quad.
My theory is that like I think this trailer is gonna be most reminiscent of Homecoming in that like this trailer is gonna want to establish new trilogy. We're starting something fresh. That's why this doesn't feel like the slog of a long-running franchise. More like we're beginning something new. This is going to feel a little different. Maybe they even do something in the trailer that we would not have seen in those previous 3 movies. And that could be just like a long take of an awesome fight sequence, or I don't know, right? Maybe full frontal.
Oh.
Yeah, Peter. Show the Peter.
Show the Peter.
Show the Peter.
And his tingle.
If Mia Goth were cast in this movie, I'd feel stronger about the full frontal. Who else are the full frontal all-stars? Well, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Apologies. Let's speak about some comments there. Christian Unpronounceable coming through with a 1-month sub over on Twitch. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian.
Marvel Pirate saying, do we think the animated Spider-Man series will provide any canon for the movie, or will they continue to keep movies and TV separate? They will keep them separate.
Those are going to be separate. Yeah.
It seems like they made a late decision to break the canon for the animated show, or late-ish in context, which makes me think that they were probably working on this movie and made that decision.
Yeah, I wonder. There must be a thing where someone's like, "We call dibs on Scorpion. You don't get Scorpion." You know, like.
And that's real. I have heard that from friends who were working at Marvel Studios that like Ironheart had put in a request for Mephisto, and that meant like other productions could not use that character. I know X-Men 97 couldn't use Wanda for some reasons like that. Yeah,
there's lots of stories of people working on like a Marvel show for months and months, assuming we get to use this character, and then somebody coming down and be like, you guys can't use that character anymore. We have other plans for that.
Even if the canon is not related.
I had a friend who was interviewing a showrun WandaVision, and early on, Strange was supposed to make 2 appearances, and then we got no Strange in WandaVision. Commercials. You know, like. I think also like there's a weird rights thing around Hulk where it's like Hulk can never be in his own movie anymore, right? Like he has to always be.
This long rumor, none of these contracts have ever been made public, but that is the long rumor. The remnants of him being farmed out to Universal and like maybe what they needed to do to get those rights back. Yeah. Same with the Vincent D'Onofrio, him saying the contract for this character is it can't appear in film. We don't know if that's true. Share your screen grab, Vince.
I don't understand why like Punisher and Daredevil can be in these movies, but Kingpin couldn't for whatever reason.
It feels far-fetched.
He's got too much work to do as mayor.
Also, contracts can be rewritten.
True.
You can change contracts.
You can amend contracts.
Yes. Famously, Kevin Feige got Amy Pascal threw a sandwich at him, and that fixed the whole Spider-Man can appear in
He cut it in his mouth. She was impressed.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, we should do that on the break room.
Catching sandwiches in our mouth.
We're not. The Amy Pascal Olympics.
On days like today where we're really reaching for a topic.
Hey, we're almost an hour.
I thought we had a great time.
Thank you all for being here with us, and great comments in the chat. Marvel Pirate. How many subs do we need to gift to have Berg dye his hair pink?
Interesting.
Ooh.
Now, are you saying that is it because it's kind of
it does look a little pink
right
here.
Now? Berg just got a haircut.
I did just get a haircut. I could barely tell. I'm sure you could barely tell. I walked out going, fuck, I pay $40 for this for. That's how much a buzz cut costs now.
Oh, John, you're looking pretty tight. You've had a recent haircut.
Yeah, sure. I went,
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm 2 weeks deep. I might. I always envy those people that like get a haircut like every week.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, if I had the money.
I
wouldn't want the money, and also just the chore of it is too much. But I love the experience.
Really?
I quite like the experience.
Oh, no, I hate it.
Yeah, once you lock in with a barber and the conversations are fine.
Oh, I don't want to talk. I just like somebody touching me, and like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk either. So you sit down and you're like, oh, this guy's gonna. I feel bad for the barber. They're standing there all day, just working on people's heads.
For me, it's like getting into a cab or something. Like if they start talking,
go to the same person.
No, if I didn't think it would come off as extremely rude, I would wear headphones while getting a haircut.
If you live in LA,
over the years.
If you live in LA, go to Folklore Salon in Silver Lake.
Oh.
David, ask for David. He's great.
Okay.
Huge Marvel fan. We talk about Marvel all the time.
How much? How much?
It's not cheap. It's
how
not
much
cheap.
He's charging over at Folklore?
He's charging me $50.
Okay.
There's some LA places where it's like that's how much a haircut costs.
Yeah.
God damn.
I remember when I first moved out to LA, I looked up this is not interesting for the actual part of the show, but I need to get a haircut. I looked up a place near me. It happened to be at the farmer's market at the Grove, which should have been my first red flag.
Yeah.
And I saw online their prices. It was like $35. I was like, okay, cool. I can do that. I think I went in. I was so tired from work. I sort of fell asleep, as you do in a barber chair sometimes. I fell asleep. $70. And I was an intern not getting paid at the time.
No.
It was not good.
Brian, you've got beautiful hair, Brian. How much you paying for haircuts?
It's like I do every 4 months, but it's like 70. Yes.
Every 4 months?
4 months. Well, he's got longer hair.
I mean, it does.
You can go a lot longer.
Yeah, I let it grow out.
Brandon gets his hair cut like twice a year.
Well, Brandon has feminine hair. Not feminine hair. Women get their hair cut when it's longer.
Infrequently,
And
yes.
he has long hair.
Yes.
It's feminine, Brandon.
Yeah. Come on the show, Brandon. Defend yourself, you coward.
I'm back.
He'll be back. Okay, that's a good. Now that we fully derailed, how much do you think Tom Holland's paying for his haircuts? I mean, that's
He's
it.
not
Getting
paying
for
for
free.
him.
He's getting
Come
them on set.
Oh, that's a
He
good
walks
point.
into hair and makeup and
I
goes
did,
give me the usual.
I did a game show once and they really tidied me up. And I was like, great, I don't have to get a haircut.
Yeah,
for the next
damn.
couple
I
weeks.
was on a show for a little while and I would get haircuts I think I did 3 episodes over the course of a season. It was like those were all my haircuts for the year. They were
That's
free.
great.
It was great.
Nice. God, I gotta book something. Plus, those are probably good haircuts. Those people usually know what they're doing.
They're great.
Okay. That'll probably be it for us today. Thank you, John and Berg,
Thank you, Zach.
so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you all.
We'll be back streaming on Friday. Myself and Eric Voss will be talking about that Peacemaker
so
finale.
exciting.
Tomorrow night, nobody knows. We don't know what's going to happen
I
in that
know.
finale.
James Gunn came out and was like, I'm the reason no one has screeners. And I was like, James, how
Please.
dare you? I want to know what that weird spider skull thing is.
Yes. What's your real quick, do you think a major character dies in the finale?
If there's, oh God, don't take Adrian from me. I'll be so upset. I think he's the only one that might die.
Do you think there's a chance there's like a Peacemaker sacrifices himself to save one of the crew or something like that? Could Peacemaker die in the finale?
I think it becomes a Thanksgiving episode and we get like a stuffed eagly turducken.
Oh, no!
I'm just saying it could happen.
I think
And Rooker comes back.
the character almost guaranteed to survive is the eagle. I feel like, yeah,
What about you?
I'm really interested. Like after the kind of big Earth X reveal that they saved so late into the season, it feels like they need to one up it, or they got to do something kind of big for the finale.
That's my big question is like, are they going to go back to Earth X? I would guess not.
Does Keith get his vengeance?
Maybe Keith comes through the door.
We know. I mean, there's still lots of doors out getting
Lot
open.
of
We know
doors.
that, so they could, or
of
somebody
doors.
could come out.
It's like they introduced this alien character with the rats and made kind of a big deal out of it in the first couple of episodes and have not gone back to that. Maybe that's just like James Gunn saw that costume in the Warner Brothers archive somewhere and was like,
Dibs.
I'll do that one.
Yeah.
But I think that world or universe might come back in a way.
Yes. Do we think now there's been no talk about a season 3 or any of these characters appearing in anything else, though we have been told this show will set up Superman Man of Tomorrow.
Yes. That's
So-
the big thing is James Gunn has been like, this is going to set up why Superman and Lex have to work together.
And for the most part, the show has been light since the premiere on DCU cameos.
Yeah.
I guess we got Lex 2 episodes ago. We got Lex's henchman last episode.
Yeah, I mean, Rick Flag Sr.'s been in this season a lot.
And we got Hawk Girl and Guy Gardner in the first episode. But do we think we see Superman in that finale?
I think there's a greater than 50% chance.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely than not, but I think that could be 51%.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think it's a guarantee.
Real Nate
I do
Silver
think
type math here.
there's a chance we get Waller because of Adebayo and her arc.
She appeared in the first season.
We're gonna probably get Lex again. If it is setting up Man of Tomorrow. I think Rick Flag Sr. could die. I think this maybe is going to be the end of that storyline.
Tough,
and maybe
tough
that,
beat for Creature Commando season 2.
Yeah, maybe. But like, you know, if that has something to do with why Superman and Lex need to team up or something like that, I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe we even do we get like a Brainiac cameo or a hint at a Brainiac who might
Is that too expensive?
We've been speculating could be the villain of Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, I'm fascinated. Again, that's coming out Thursday night, and then we'll be talking about it on Friday. And then we'll be back next week doing more Breakroom shit. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
Go watch The Witching Hour.